Welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. I'm Graham and I'm running sessions Epa, the Cleric of Misfortune. You can find us on Twitter. It'd be great if someone wanted to tweet us. We're quite active there. Ask us any questions about what we're up to, if we can remember the storyline, if you have any idea what we're doing whatsoever. It'd be great if you wanted to rate, review, or subscribe on whatever podcast app you like to use. That's really more than enough from me. If I say any more, I'll go mad. So let's get on with episode 14, Suspicious Minds.
So where we left things, you've just finished your combat with the evil Cubbins, who you dispatched, along with
evil?
Well, he's acts evil, along with a few of his constables, Deputy Jamis, a couple of the other constables that you recognise from town, one of whom you saw when you went to the jail block before. And the other two combatants that you downed were Tira and Kelek. Now, they are two of the three adventurers who journeyed to Diamond Lake with Cuthbert. Not with, but on the same wagon train, as it were. And they were the adventurers, the seekers, the treasure seekers that were looking for the Whispering Cairn themselves. And Sessions misled them as to where it was. Do you remember all of that on Cuthbert's instruction? The only other thing to pick up is that two people ran off. One of them you think was a constable called Wilvlow, who you recognise him just as he was heading off into the dark. He was the one who was sitting outside the jailhouse that first time you visited, and you played shenanigans with the little bell that rings in the feral dog, got him into trouble. Do you remember that? He was the kind of the lowest of the low of the constables, clearly the one that they kicked about. You saw him run off, and the other person you saw run off was Chank Fankum. Chank Fankum was the third of these seekers, and you think their leader. He kind of exchanged a look with Parker before he disappeared off into the darkness. That's kind of where you're left. You've got these bodies lying all around you. What do you want to do? Do you want to bury them? How do you want to dispose of them?
We want to loot them, and then we should lay them to rest.
Okay, so so there's not much on the constables. Anyway, I suspect that the stuff they have might be slightly incriminating were you to try and sell it. There are liveried uniforms, leather armor, they had short swords and crossbows. Cubbins had a long sword, I think. Jamis had a long sword too. Can't exactly remember, but they've not got anything of them of particular interest. The other two, on the other hand, now Tira has got a dagger that looks quite tasty. She's got something else with her, a little silver case. Looks like the case that you might keep to use an anachronism, like an expensive pen in. It's like a little silver, about 6 inches long, about 2 inches by 2 inches otherwise, with a little flip clasp. It looks like it's worth maybe a bit of money in its own right, irrespective of the contents. And then Tira's got a potion. I won't beat about the bushes. Potion of greater healing. Kelek's got a potion of greater healing on him too.
Take those.
Taking a note of that. And there's a couple of...
in my bag.
Keep an eye on them.
God. And there's a couple of scrolls as well. In scroll cases. They were on Kelek, and both of them were wearing those rings with the little 7-pointed star design that you Parker had recognized when Tira was with you in the feral dog that other night. It's the same symbol as was on the armor, the red leather armor of one of the bodies that you found down the sinkhole deep in the cairn. Not quite sure what the significance is of that link, but you do know that the symbol is of an organization, a sort of semi-secret organization called the Seekers, who are based in Even Star, who are sort of basically tomb robbers. They sort of masquerade as being antiquarians and archaeologists, but really your understanding is that they're basically tomb robbers. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do with the bodies?
Well, I think maybe we'll do a quick ritual of detect magic and check what's magical.
Yeah, sure. The dagger is magical. The two potions are obviously magical. Scrolls are magical. The rings are not, and the little silver case is not magical.
Okay.
Well, you have a look at. You're going to read the top of the scrolls.
Yeah.
One is a scroll of dark vision. One is a scroll of spider climb.
Let's have a look in the box.
The box, when you flip the catch, there's a little. It's lined with velvet. There's a little housing there. Again, like you'd put an expensive pen in. But it's not a pen, it's a finger, a stone finger.
This reminds me of the sarcophagus
in the lantern room where there was a finger.
How insightful of you, Paul.
I'm really rather memorable of
That's
these things.
amazing memory you've got there, Paul.
Incredible.
It's sort of the memory of somebody who's listened back to every single adventure, every single episode of the whole thing.
About 20 times.
Okay, I'll slip Parker the finger.
Does he take it inside?
He's got to take it inside.
Please, you're going to slip Parker the finger, and he's going to take it inside to the sarcophagus.
Yeah.
It's a match. It's a match for the missing finger on the statue on the sarcophagus. And when you reattach it or put it back in place, it looks like it points to the blue lantern passageway. So that might have been a clue all along. Maybe something that these people had brought with them. Tira had brought with her an artifact that somehow she'd acquired. Maybe that's why they were looking for the cairn.
We didn't find any artifacts or anything that they might be interested in, did we?
You
Got pretty
didn't
crap
find.
magic.
Well, you found the true tomb with the real sarcophagus, where you've recovered the sword, the
Yeah, but
the
there's
mantle, the
nothing,
diadem, the silver box, the necklace of fireballs.
nothing amazing about that, though. Is there no sort of relics or artifacts?
Well, you're
I
not
do
really
have a box, don't I?
Sure. Hmm.
Which has got a sealed lid on it.
Sorry, everything has.
Yeah, don't. Please don't.
Okay.
We've done that joke today.
Yeah.
We haven't done a joke about the box.
No. Anyway, Cuthbert has got a magical box that she wants to show to Hesti Testapod.
It's a bejeweled magic box.
So that's So you've recovered those, but I mean, maybe that's all that they would have been hoping. Maybe they didn't know what they were going to find, but they were as unaware of what was to be gained here as you were. But it's speculation.
Well, if
You
they'd
don't know.
realised the magic was so crap, they might not have started in the first place.
Well, yeah. Well, you did. What are you going to do? What are you
Let's
going to do?
head back to town. Let's
What do
head
you
back to town.
Are you doing anything with the bodies, or are you just going to leave them there?
Bury
Put
them.
them in the sarcophagus.
No,
what-
bury them.
Bury them.
Well,
Okay,
you can
bury
yeah.
them.
We should definitely lay them to rest.
Why?
It'll serve us well later.
Why?
It's the right
I
thing
can
to
see where
do.
Sessions is going with this. Sessions is trying to do the decent thing for his divinity.
The right thing to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you bury them, you say some rites
Say
over the grave, I
rites
presume.
over
Sessions.
them.
Yeah, and then you head back to town. It's cold, it's started to snow again. You don't get very far, about a couple of 100 yards, before you see a shape in the snow in front of you, which resolves itself into a body as you get closer, and you realise that it's the body of this constable, the one that fled, Wilvlow. He's been hacked down by, well, you don't know, but Chank Fankum carries a great big greatsword, and it looks like it's consistent with that. It's possible that Fankum has chopped this character down. Don't know why. No sign of Fankum. Otherwise, your journey back to town is uneventful. You get back at about you kicked off at about 8 in the evening, 9 in the evening. So it's about 4 in the morning, let's say. By the time you get back to town, everything is dead quiet, ice quiet.
Well, we should head to the inn and let the mother know about her
The
kid.
Rusty Bucket.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Well, things aren't great there, to be honest. When you get to the Rusty Bucket, it's shuttered, and it looks like there's been a fire. It's not burnt down, but it's pretty significantly damaged. It's charred timbers, charred brickwork, and the windows have gone. They've been replaced with boards, and it is quiet as the grave. There's nobody about.
Perhaps we should then go to the. Well, we've killed. Who's in charge now? If
I am.
no,
You don't know. I mean, you don't. I mean, well, do you mean in charge of the whole town? There's a governor and there's a garrison. There's
No,
all you mean to law and order?
who's the deputy constable?
No,
No,
the,
we've got rid of-
the deputy was Jamis, and you've killed Jamis, so you don't know. I mean, there are about a dozen, maybe more. It flexes up with kind of casual, kind of associated members of the constabulary, but you've certainly killed sort of 5 or 6 of them tonight. You don't know if they're. You don't know. I mean, you could go to the jailhouse and find out.
Why don't we do that?
It's quiet in the main square. The feral dog is still open, of course, always open. Lights in the windows. The sound, the kind of muted chuckles of a couple of well, as it turns out, early morning drinkers. The jailhouse itself, Cullen. You remember Cullen, the albino half-orc, the leader of the gang that? Yeah. He is sitting in the doorway of the jailhouse. The door is open. A lantern is on. Not a lantern, but there's a lamp on in there. He's sitting there, kind of swathed in furs, on a chair, looking out over the square, looking unhappy. He kind of nods to acknowledge the fact that you're there. He recognises you, but he doesn't say anything.
Is Cubbins about?
No, he's gone off somewhere. He's asked me to look after things. Well, he'll be back soon.
I
doubt
don't
that.
think so.
So,
Well, I don't know how you'd know that.
Well, we do.
He said he'd be back in the morning.
what? He's left you in charge, has he?
Well, just for the night. He just said keep an eye on things. He's taking all his lot off somewhere. I don't know, some law enforcement or something. I don't know.
Right, while they have him
well, he won't be coming
distracted,
back.
I'm going to cast Charm Person on him.
I'm going to cast Charm Person on Cullen.
Yes.
What's the DC?
13 Wisdom save.
No, he rolls a 9. What effect does that have?
He treats me as friendly.
It treats you as friendly. Okay. Oh, hello, Sessions. Yeah, nice to see you again.
You were saying we saw Cubbins heading towards Evenstar on the road. He said he was going to be
You
away
did?
for
You met him
a week. Yeah.
a week. He's only
A
told me
week?
to look after the place for a
Yeah.
night. He only gave me a silver piece.
Well, you know what he's like. He's
Oh.
shortchanged you.
Yeah, I do know what he's like. Yeah,
Paid
yeah.
for a night for a week's work.
Oh, yeah, that does sound like him.
I think I would head home if I were you. Go and have a
Well,
rest.
I
Or
don't know
take
about heading
charge
home,
of
but I
the
wouldn't mind a
place.
drink.
Oh,
Well,
you
we
do
could look
that.
after a place for you.
Well, I suppose if I've only been paid for the night. If he's not going to come back, right?
Not for a week, I
Rastafan,
don't think.
he shouts back inside, and Rastafan, another member of the gang who you've met before, kind of blinks out into the light, looking a little bit sort of like he's obviously been asleep, and he kind of blinks out, stares at you out in the square. Cullen's like, Cubbins has gone to Evenstar. They're saying he's gone to Evenstar. They met him on the road. Rastafan's like, you know what? He said, yeah. He's not going to be back for ages. Rastafan's like, well, what are we doing here then? Cullen says, well, it's a very good question. Let's go and spend what little money he's given us over the road. Good idea. Rastafan looks a bit dubious, but they head off. And as Cullen kind of stamps down the stairs out into the snow, and then just something occurs to him as he's walking away from you, turns, he tosses you a set of keys. He says, you'll need these.
Okay, well, we'll pick them up.
Result.
Go into the jailhouse.
Well, it's all quiet. Where are you? I mean, what are you doing? Looking around? What are you doing?
Well, search Cubbins' offices.
Detect magic. Search Cubbins' office.
Search it top to bottom.
Okay. Detect magic. No, you don't detect any magic. If you go into Cubbins' office, which you've got the key to, that's fine. There's a strong box in there, but there's only petty cash, like 60 silver pieces, something like that.
Right.
He's got sort of various bits. He's got a set of slightly cryptic notes in one of the drawers of his desk. Looks like transactional records. Looks like he uses his own little shorthand. There's no names or anything, but it looks like there are amounts. You suspect that this is, I don't know, money in, money out, maybe a bit of both. There are some marked decks of cards that he clearly uses for, I don't know, whatever purpose.
Well, I'll pocket those. They could be useful.
Not much else in the outer office. Yeah, Sessions, absolutely up your street. Some marked cards. Not much in the outer office. Just got standard kind of ebony stuff. I mean, there's a weapons rack with their kind of standard issue short swords and crossbows. A lot of them obviously have gone, but there's a couple there. Again, I don't know quite what you'd do with them if you were to take them. And then, of course, you can go into the jail block.
Yep.
Now, the jail block, it's cold in there and it's dark. Who's got a source of light?
I'll do a light spell. I can do that.
I'll do
one.
light
I've got
spell.
dark vision.
Okay,
I've
so
got
you're...
dark vision too.
Not anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, by hook or by crook, you can take a look at the scene. It's a standard layout. There's a central area with a grating in the center of the floor. It's tiled, and the floor slopes down to it, so they can kind of wash some unspeakable sort of stains there. They can wash kind of nasty stuff away. And then there is a series of cells surrounding this area with bars and those little beds that fold down from the wall with a chain at either end. Yeah. But in the middle of this central area, there's a table, and lying on this table is the body of Madame Wodge of the Lodge, naked, pallid. Nothing else to say really. Just lying there.
Any sort of magical enchantments that have
Nothing that you can
kept
see.
her preserved?
No, it doesn't look like. I mean, it's been below freezing consistently, pretty much all the last week or so. It wouldn't be untoward for her to be relatively well preserved. I mean, she doesn't look great. Certainly doesn't look like there's any kind of magic at play, no.
Does she look in the same state she was when we brought her back, the body?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, she's bearing the injuries that you gave her.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
maybe
they were
that's
doing
how they
speak
found
with-
us.
Speak with dead.
Maybe that's how they found us.
Speculation.
But that's quite a high level spell, isn't it? So
Is it?
That's a good question. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Otherwise, the cell block is kind of empty. The cells are empty and they are unlocked. It looks like maybe Cubbins didn't trust Cullen to look after, or whatever. Remember, the cells are really just for drunks. It's not an untoward thing for them to be empty.
Speak with Dead is 3rd level.
should we roll for the magic?
Oh yeah, let's roll for the magic.
Oh God!
So
What now?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So there's a dagger. What else
Pile
is there?
You pile into town, start investigating, asking questions, break into the jail block. 2 minutes later, you're arguing about magic. Don't tell me.
We haven't
Yeah.
argued. We haven't
Okay.
argued.
Not
Oh,
yet.
let's just see what happens.
No.
But there's only a
it's-
dagger, isn't there? There's only a dagger and a couple of scrolls.
And some potions.
Couple
I
of
get an
potions in your
81.
What potions? I don't remember any potions.
Yeah, I get a 77.
What are we rolling for? Rolling for choice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a 48. I'm afraid.
48. Yeah.
22. Fantastic.
Okay.
Well,
Johnny, what did you get?
I got 59, so I'm 3rd.
Okay. I think I'll take the potion of greater healing.
I'll take the second potion.
Okay. So have you? But was it that quick? You actually managed to allocate them?
What, let's start again. Paul,
Oh God!
you're taking the potion of healing, right?
I'll
Micro-
take the potion
I
of
don't know if the
healing.
microphone is picking this up, but I'm pinching the bridge of my nose.
Okay. Then Dan, you no,
Oh,
no,
is it me
sorry,
next?
it's Lucas.
Okay, well, I'll
Lucas.
take the
Lucas.
dagger.
No, sorry. Rewind that. Lucas, you're taking the second potion of
It's
healing.
a good
I
job
believe.
you're here, Johnny. We'd be totally disorganised without you here.
That's why you need the primary spell using resource.
Oh no!
I mean, let's face it, you almost died back there, right?
Primary
If-
spellcasting
What?
resource. We actually, that's true. We should plan out the use of our primary spellcasting resource.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
share the spells between.
Johnny's more right than he knows. You were actually in quite a lot of trouble in that last combat. I did reflect on it. Basically, you were
plan
two
it to.
saving throw. Well, you were 2 saving throws away from only Johnny being left to take on.
Can
the
you
wizard at the
imagine?
end.
That would be disaster.
Can you
Well, it'd be
imagine
disastrous
right
if you
now?
won.
But I think
You'd rather
fate
a
obviously
TPK.
intervened on our side to save us from that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
thank you.
the story, the message here is that you've got to keep the primary spell
Lady
using
Luck.
resource alive.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, well, I'm
Ta-
still alive.
I
so
agree.
take the
I
bard.
was at the whole
bards
combat.
are secondary spell users.
No, they are primary. How come you keep going,
Secondary.
oh, gross, anytime the bard does anything? Oh, gross. How does bard, it's a bard, how does he get to do that amazing spell?
No.
Yeah, well, I've been listening back to the podcast, and that's definitely comes up quite a lot from you.
So, Lucas, are you
In
taking?
fact, I'm going to
the
edit it
healing?
into the next episode. Just going to have a montage of you going, God, gross.
You can just sample him saying it, and every time you do anything, you just drop it
Yes.
in.
I will take the second potion.
Okay,
That leaves me with
Non-accurate
the.
one.
I've completely
Yeah.
lost track.
I'm going to take the +1 dagger.
Bloodvein dagger.
Oh,
Okay.
some awful.
What are you going to do with the dagger?
Never you
To lend
mind.
it to somebody.
Yeah, anybody want to borrow it?
Row it.
Just
Johnny,
mention
can I-
you
can I
wrote
borrow
on
it?
the
Row it.
Character sheet.
Can I borrow it,
Paul
please?
wants to borrow it.
Anyway,
I'm not lending it to him.
okay. Well, he doesn't need. He hasn't got. He literally can't carry. It's the idea that Cuthbert is wandering around with just this sheaf of weapons that he's borrowed off you. He can't actually carry them all at once.
Yeah, maybe I should get the short sword back. I mean, it is only loaned, right?
Well, so was that? I missed that.
Tumbleweed there.
Mm.
What's loaned?
That the +1
You're
short
you're
sword
almost
is
done.
loaned.
You're almost done. You've done
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
3. You got 2 more. You got
Just
the
trying
scrolls.
to
Who's
remember.
I'm
Remind
next.
you.
Okay, I'll take the scrolls.
You sure?
Yeah.
I thought I would take them
Why?
because you can't cast any of them.
Because what? Because why? Sorry?
Why don't you take 1 each?
Yeah, you can't take
Yeah.
2 scrolls.
Why not?
Exactly. They're
They were
individual
listed as one
scrolls.
item.
No.
They're 2 items.
All right, I'll take one of the scrolls.
Which one do you take?
Dark vision.
Okay. And so,
Spider,
if
if I
I've got
might
that right,
take them.
Spider climb for sessions. Yeah, I think they're arcane scrolls. We'll work out the details later when you actually want to try and use them.
I'm going to sell mine.
Well, exactly. Yeah, you could. You could take it to Tidwode's, or you could take it to Vanell's, or there's a couple of places in town. You
I'm
might be able
sure
to
Hesti
dispose of it.
Testapod is really in need of dark vision spell.
Well, he might be. You never know.
Hmm.
What are you going to do next? It's about 4, 5. Let's call it 5 in the morning after all your shenanigans in the jailhouse.
I think we
Shall
need a
we-
long rest.
Yeah, should we take a long rest?
What? Back to you're staying at Lazar's, right? The dragon chest place with the rooms upstairs. Okay. Well, I mean, it's closed. Obviously, it's not closed. You can get in through the little side door for guests. Take a long rest, and let's take a short break, and come back in a couple of minutes. Grimbold, there you are. Now, what is all this?
Hey, shh, keep your voice down.
What's all the secrecy? What's all the mystery? Have you got yourself into trouble again?
It's that bastard Smenk.
Spank? Spank. My old foe. What about him? What have you heard?
I mean, we've been up at the old observatory.
Oh, that place. What about it?
Well, it's a long story, and I don't fully understand. But the observatory it's been taken over by a necromancer, Filge. Have you heard of him?
No.
A necromancer from Evenstar.
Oh.
Smenk invited him here. What do you know about the Dourstone Mine?
Dourstone? That old rogue. I know his yields have been falling, but he keeps hiring new hands. Lord knows how he's making any money. What about it?
Shh. These walls have ears. Let's just keep it quiet. There's something hidden under that mine. Some kind of cult.
Oh.
Something that Smenk is tied up in.
Oh.
He saw something down there which scared him so much that he brought Filge here.
And you
to-
could prove it?
Yeah.
That Smenk is involved?
Well, there's a letter from Smenk. I don't have it. One of my friends has it, but I might be able to get it.
But you must get it.
Look, I want vengeance. Vengeance for what he did to old Durskin.
Vengeance for my cousin, yes. And a settling of old scores. If we can bring him down, I can rebuild. Your friends, though, can you trust them?
Yeah.
What about that boy from Evenstar? What do you know about him? I hear things.
Boy, for me, you mean Cuthbert?
Yes, Cuthbert.
Cuthbert, what about him?
The Ouch Splinter. I hear he was sent here. What's he after?
After?
Nothing happens by accident when that family are involved. You need to be careful, Grimble.
No, he's a young lad, I'm sure.
And you need to get into that mine. We need proof we can take to Neff. If we can convince him, we can take down Smenk, Cubbins, the whole thing.
Cubbins is dead.
Dead? What?
Yes. Cubbins and Jamis, they ambushed us out by the out in the hills. You may not trust my friends, Gelch. I'm not sure about them myself, but I know we work well together. We know how to look after ourselves.
Dead.
Yes.
Dead.
Yeah.
Well done, by Urt above. That is grand news. Grand news.
Shh.
And the mine?
Yeah. Keep your voice down. You leave the mine to me, but you need to get the governor on our side. If I get you proof, I need to know he is with us.
I can speak with him. I still have that much influence, at least.
Yeah, do it, you old fool. No more mistakes.
Just watch your tone.
Look, I haven't got time for your vanity. I'm off now, okay? Just make sure Neff is on our side.
Bug on food. Okay, where were we? Let's call it sort of lunchtime. By lunchtime the same day, sorry, because it's the morning of Thump Day. By lunchtime, you're out and about. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
Go and see Hesti.
Go and see Hesti Testapod. Hesti Testapod.
We're going to go and see
Sorry,
Hesti.
I'm getting
Yeah,
overly
he's
familiar
our man.
by calling him Hesti.
Okay, up to his lovely little charming house just above the town. Blue and red clapboard, lovely little garden, always spring. Hesti Testapod written on the little plaque on the gate. Hammer on the door. Thump, thump.
Yeah, knock.
He's in. Oh, he comes. Ah, you're back already.
Yes.
Have you been to the
Hello.
have you been to the cairn?
Yes.
Well, I never. What did you discover anything new? Any new information about the Wind Dukes?
Well, I have
Yeah.
a very important question for you.
Yes.
Would you be interested in
Yes.
a dark vision scroll?
Well, I suppose I might be. Let's have a look at it.
I'll show it to him.
Oh, okay. He kind of has a quick look at it. Well, I suppose so. Thank you very much.
100 GP.
Oh, no, I'm not that interested. Sorry, there's been a misunderstanding.
Ah.
Come in anyway. Come in.
But you've taken possession now. You have to obviously pay the
Come
fee.
in. I have sandwiches.
We found the final resting place of the Wind Duke.
He stops. He's like freezes.
What was his name?
Grimbold? Really? Social? You found the tomb of Social?
I don't know. Which one's Social?
I think that was his name.
We found the least important one.
There are freezers and everything,
Actually,
and
yes, that's him.
Actually, Hesti Testapod, can you remind us of the story?
Well, I don't think I need to do that. You're accomplished adventurers now. Anyway, take a seat. He sits down on his little bench. Unfortunately, he's wearing the dressing gown. So you can kind of take a seat around, but you really have to be careful. Obviously, every time he shifts in his chair, everybody has to kind of look at the ceiling.
Can I do a very targeted darkness spell?
Oh, I didn't realise I was showing.
What's that film with Sharon Stone in it?
Yeah, Basic Instinct.
Basic Instinct. She crosses her legs and crosses her legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, except it's
Desperately
just very,
trying not to catch a glimpse of the testicles.
it's very, very different.
So now, tell me, what have you found? What did you find?
Does bring
I
you
don't know.
Can you describe it,
Hesti
sir?
Testapod.
I found this sword.
Friend
some
guide
sort of-
storyteller.
There was some
Well,
sort of
we went
pillar,
up
wasn't
into
there?
this. There's. I'll take out my little. I'll show him my box.
My goodness, Cuthbert. That is a magnificent box you've got there.
I'll give it a quick wipe.
Have you? God. Have you opened it? Pass it to me. Pass it to me.
I give it a quick wipe and present it to him for inspection.
Oh, look at this script. The Queen of Chaos. He's kind of looking at the writhing letter forms on the lid. Have you opened it?
Not yet, no.
Oh,
No, I
shame.
don't frequently open my box to strangers.
It doesn't
Have
look like
you
it would
rolled
be
for it?
that difficult. And he sort of.
Is it that wise? I would say before he.
Well, I suppose there might be some danger. And he sort of he manipulates it a bit, and little ping, takes the lid off. He looks into it. He says, "Well, I never. It's a talisman of the sphere." He reaches in and takes out this thing. It's like a rod with a kind of hoop on the end of it. It's a bit odd-looking thing. Do you know what this is?
It's a talisman of the sphere.
It's for controlling spheres of annihilation.
That's exactly right, Grimbold. Well done, Grimbold.
Thank
well,
you.
Are
How
learning
on
things.
earth did Paul end up with it?
Oh, I
Well,
didn't know. Where did you find it? You found it in the tomb.
The tomb.
I found it in the tomb of the Windukes.
The legend is that the Windukes scattered the spheres of annihilation to the very corners of the galaxy.
Universe?
Multiverse.
Multiverse.
The Great Wheel, we call it. They were scattered to every corner, but these, you can control them. That's the legend. You must keep it. He hands it to Cuthbert. You must keep this. One must always be... Cuthbert.
We should roll for it.
We already have.
You must keep it, Cuthbert.
I will do. What can I do with it?
Well, I don't know. Must always be prepared. Maybe it will become useful later. Who knows?
If you find a
he
sphere
says-
of annihilation, you can control it.
He's, looking. He seems to look into the future briefly. One must always be prepared.
And what is this called again?
Talisman of the spheres.
Paul, remember that loan about the +1 sword? Well, now's a good time to give me that in exchange.
No.
I think we didn't roll for it, did we?
It was when everybody was taking everything, and it was. It was agreed that I got it actually.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was. We can listen back, but I think that basically we need to roll for it.
Well, a bit late now.
Let's roll for it.
Let's roll for it.
Bit late now.
Hesti just sighs. Are you in the habit of doing this?
Yes.
Right, all
What
the
is the
time.
point of existence?
Tell me
If
more.
not,
Tell me all about
roll
what
for
you.
magic.
Tell me all about your adventures. What else did you discover? Tell me about the tomb.
There were sort of
Don't
fresco.
distract us.
elevator.
Don't distract us. We're focused on rolling for this sphere thing. Right. So rolling percentile.
Yeah.
Percentile. Are we
No.
agreed?
Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
I'm gonna roll. So I
I
rolled on 61.
get a 53. Johnny gets a 61.
I'm not rolling for something that's already mine.
It's not yours. You're the carrier. That's all.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh,
Well, that cuts deep.
89, Lucas.
Parker's got 89.
52.
Disappointing.
I might roll later, but at the moment it's been handed to me. I'm looking after it.
Well, no, Lucas is the owner. Lucas is the winner.
You might get
Right.
more than
Higher.
89. Fate might be on your side.
Yeah. It's a 1 in 10
If
chance.
it's meant to
You
be,
don't roll, obviously you
it'll
can't
happen.
be the winner.
Come on, 10%
15.
odds.
clearly you're not meant to carry it.
Yeah.
Okay, so-
I'll pass it over to.
Oh, the Parker.
Parker.
Yes, Parker. You must look after it. You never know when it might come in useful. Tell me anything. What else? What else did you discover? What did you tell me about?
So there was a
what was
big-
it like?
There was a big shaft of wind
Yes.
that we
Rode
just had
up
a
on the
meal, so
wind.
it was quite obvious that there was going to be that kind of wind. But so yeah, we kind of fought some guardian guys that basically
Suits of
wore
armour.
Yes.
suits of armor.
Yes. Wind knights or whatever. Yes.
Yeah, wind knights. Okay, yeah, we knew that. And then we ascended into the tomb,
The real tomb.
the
The
real
real
tomb.
tomb. Yes. And what was there? Zosiel.
Zosiel, that's right.
Murals.
Did you see him?
Yes, I think. I don't know.
You didn't. No.
No,
There was just
we
there was just a
didn't, no.
sarcophagus with some stuff in it. Which
There
you
was a
got.
sarcophagus with some stuff in it. I tell you.
Yes.
And some
Yes.
and some murals. There were lots of
Murals?
kind of murals and story.
Showing the story
telling
of the
Yes.
battle, the
That's
fields
right,
of
yeah.
Pesh, the battle against the Queen of Chaos.
Exactly.
That's right.
Showing
Fascinating.
all the detail. Yes, all the detail. So we know everything about that battle now, and
Ah.
I'll tell him in a hand wavy kind of way.
Yeah,
all that we
you
saw.
summarise what you
Yes.
saw. Okay.
Show him the sketches, the brief sketches. we made.
Yes, and the
Yeah.
rubbing,
Oh,
the rubbing.
sorry. We're going through them
Stick men.
like a
Right.
slideshow, and this is us with the thing, and this is us. Okay. He's nodding and pretending to be interested. Oh, good, another.
You're showing it again, Hesti.
Oh, another. Oh, I'm so sorry.
We don't really know what to do next, basically.
Well, I know what you should do next.
What?
You need to go and investigate the Dourstone Mine.
Why?
Something is lurking down there. Something is
Right.
growing in the dark. You mentioned last time you came to see me that you'd learnt from Filge. Remember Filge? I saw him off.
Yes.
About the Ebon Triad.
Right.
Triumvirate of dark gods.
That's right.
They are
Yeah.
plotting to join together and raise some kind of overgod, some kind of evil deity. And I believe that they're up to their nefarious plans deep beneath the Dourstone Mine outside town. I think you're the perfect people to go and investigate.
Why?
Well, because you've shown such amazing skill and perception and bravery while investigating the cairn.
Why,
Right.
thank you.
Isn't there anybody else?
Well, I don't know. I suppose I could speak to my brother about it, but I mean, he's a nightmare.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What level are you?
Well, I don't understand. You've asked me this before. It's
Yes.
it's a concept that I can't quite
Okay.
grasp.
Let me try and frame it for you. Are you able to cast a teleport spell?
A teleport. This would be an enchantment to instantly transport oneself
That's
from
correct.
one
yeah.
place. Well, in a way.
In a way,
You know-
you could.
Well,
Could you do it via the means of a circle drawn on the ground, for example?
that I would be beyond my powers.
Right.
Do
Okay.
you know anybody who can do speak with the dead?
Oh, that
In the
really is a
village.
dark
How?
ritual. Perhaps Jiren Weirus might be able to do it.
Who?
I can't think of anyone else. Weirus, he is the priest of Tonge in town. He might have that power. I'm sure he'd be very reluctant to do so, though. It's a dark area that we should not meddle with. The dead.
What do you know about people who have one green and one grey eye?
Oh, now you're talking about Cuthbert. Cuthbert, let's have a look at you. Why? Why do you ask?
Don't lean too close to me. Not with.
Because
In
one of the
one of
people
the
in the
murals.
murals may have it.
Yes.
There was a
So-
person depicted with one grey and one green eye.
No, it wasn't a person. It was one of the demons, wasn't it?
Demon.
It was a demon.
Oh,
with a-
goodness, yes. There are scripts and scraps in my memory. He stoops forward. He looks at Cuthbert. You're worried that Cuthbert might be skeely, aren't you?
Yes.
Cuthbert, you don't feel.
Scaly.
Cuthbert, you don't feel scaly, do you?
Not particularly.
You are an ouch splinter. Yes, yes.
Yes.
He kind of looks off into the middle distance for a bit.
It's a very old family, an old family. These old families, they're like it's like an old broad river. So many streams, so many tributaries.
Yes, yes,
Some
yes,
rise
yes,
in the
old man.
upland meadows under the warm sun, but others rise in dark places out of the sight of even the dwarves. Every family has its secrets. But you don't feel scaly, no?
No.
Well, you're probably fine then.
By the way, Mike, teleport is 7th level. Teleportation circle is 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So he
Right.
can do teleport, but he can't.
No, I didn't say that.
Uh,
No, didn't say that.
oh, I see. So maybe he can do
He
a
asked you what.
dimension door.
What does he know about the fire at the Spenge?
That's a bad business. Gorbag's bench, she's disappeared. I have a suspicion, though, about Gorbag's bench. I think some members of our little township are involved with the Dourstone Mine, and I do wonder about her. I have wondered for a while. And her boy has gone missing as well.
We think
Well,
he's dead.
unfortunately, we think he's dead.
Why do you think so?
But we know so.
Cubbins.
Well, how do you know so? Cubbins?
Cubbins basically had his head.
So it's a bit more than a think, isn't it? Really?
Yes.
Well,
Slightly more evidence.
It's a bit more than a thing.
We were
Cuthbert.
prevaricating slightly. Let's be quite
You
honest.
were
Cubbins
prevaricating.
chopped off his head.
We should find. I mean, this is an outrage. We should find Cubbins now.
well, he's dead.
Oh, he's dead.
Yes, we
Yes.
killed him.
Oh, I suppose it was inevitable eventually.
Self-defense.
What, at the cairn? Sorry,
They're like that,
Okay,
Graham.
yes.
Well done.
at the cairn. Okay, now, so you were. I see. Oh, gracious.
He
This
tracked us. He tracked us
Yeah.
down to the
We
cairn.
are
Tried
involved.
to
And then threw the head of Spenge Boy at us.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Oh, you mean Morclet Spenge, the boy? Yes.
Yes,
Well, this
the
is a-
boy, Spenge Boy.
This is a. He's not. This is frustrating.
What?
Well, all the more reason to find out what dark forces are at work in the town. That's what I say. Cubbins is dead.
Yes.
Well, that will cause trouble. My brother will be here shortly, I imagine. Where is Cubbins now? Where's his body?
What, sorry, what's your brother's name?
My brother's name is Leynard. He's the governor here, of course.
Leynard.
Leynard Neff. He is the governor.
Leynard Neff. Is Neff his surname?
Neff is
Does
his
that mean that-
surname.
And so you're Hesti Testapod Neff.
I don't know, Dan.
You don't have this written down in your
He's
fully
Leynard.
realised world.
No, his full name.
When was he born?
Wait a second, it's not my world, it's Mike's world. Hold up. His full name is Leynard Neftapod. That's it.
Leynard Neftapod.
That all hangs together perfectly.
When was he born?
He was born in the year 545.
Yes.
Yes.
what
In the
month?
reckoning of the Brotherhood.
What month?
How long ago was that?
Now, wait a second. I always forget his birthday. I think he might have been born in Spockocta. Yes, the 14th of Spockocta.
Oh, so that would make him what, a Libra?
Or is it-
Scorpio.
Well, I don't know what you're referring to. I, of
No,
course,
you-
I am a spring baby.
Are you?
If you
When
have
were
to.
you born?
Well, I mean, not that I'm hinting.
Fart, then, obviously.
No, I was born in Apeshit.
Okay.
24th of Apeshit. It's my birthday. Don't forget.
What year?
You could get me a scroll. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
nice.
straw.
Good. Yeah, he's got the scroll for you. I point to Grimbold.
Well, it's a bit early now. Don't ruin the surprise. Now, the thing is, I know a way that you could get into the mine.
Oh, good.
There is a one of the mine workings has become disused, and my suspicion is that leads down to the secret dark temple
All right.
beneath the earth.
Why are we doing
Here,
this?
here, and he sort of clears a bit of stuff off he stands up. Everybody has to look away. He clears some stuff. Bends
Oh,
over
that
a
was
table.
darkness spell.
Bends over. Yeah, but it's fixed. Well, anyway, if you cast. I think
It's fixed.
if you actually cast it on him, he gets to say. Well, let's not get into it. He bends over the table. No, maybe he doesn't do that. It's probably not wise. Anyway, he clears the table and he grabs a bit of parchment
and a little bit of charcoal, and he sketches you out a little kind of map of the way up to the mine, and he explains that there's a kind of main entrance that's guarded by the pit bosses, but that around the side there's a disused mine working, and if you could creep to that entrance, you might be able to find yourselves a way down inside the mine, down to the dark temple that he believes is there.
It's a trap.
Could be.
Is this somehow related to anything else we've been doing so far?
Well, it's. I think the single most troubling discovery of yours is this. And he wanders over to the shelves where he keeps all his bits and bobs, and he produces the canister, the flask that's got that giant worm in it. Yeah. The presence of these unkillable undead in the hills and the swamps is linked to these worms, linked to this figure Kios, and somehow that is linked to this concept of the age of worms. And my belief is this Ebon triad, these dark forces, are trying to bring about the age of worms. This is maybe why we are seeing this undead surface out in the wilderness.
What undead?
Well, there are reports.
We haven't seen any.
Well, no, because you've been investigating the cairn.
Right. So what you're saying is, when we go down into this dark temple, we will encounter these unkillable undead.
Well, I don't know about that. It's more likely that some kind of cultist activity is going on down there,
Right.
probably trying to perform or organise or investigate the dark rites required to bring about this age of worms. But the sooner somebody investigates, the sooner we will know. And I think it should be you.
Okay. Got any magic?
Yes, but not that you can have.
Oh.
You've got this map, though. Hands you that. That's, in a way, helpful.
It's fairly magic.
Yes.
Could
If you want to keep it, you have to write down that it's mine on your character sheet.
Pathetic.
Okay.
Any
Johnny.
gold?
Johnny has it.
What about some gold?
What? No.
Well,
Anyway, there we are. Off you go then. Starts ushering you out. Tell me what you discover when you're in the mine.
So Lucas,
Purple
sorry.
Herpish is
tell
going
us-
to sing you a little song before he
Yes,
goes.
I'm going to sing you a song
Well, I'm going now anyway.
on the zither.
We'll leave you to him.
This really is a day of surprises.
This one I've called Unexpected Uncovered. It's a new song that what I wrote, and it's
Yes.
going to make you feel wonderful.
He adopts that pose of sort of slightly looking off into the middle distance to one side.
I'm ready.
Here you go. Here's my new song.
I've got a bugbear. I've got a bugbear in my underpants. Oh yes, I've got a bugbear. I've got a bugbear in my underpants.
Well, I have to say, Purple, that was a very diverting song.
Thank you.
Now, I have a song of my own. Shall I sing it for you?
What's your song about?
Well, it's about me. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
So are you going to head off to the mine to investigate the mine?
Yeah.
He's heavily hinted.
Yeah, go on, let's
Okay,
go.
well, off you. You're going to do it now?
Do we level up?
Level up?
yet?
No, there's no leveling up to be done. You're going to do it now,
Oh, there's no
Yeah,
reason
we'll
to.
do it now.
or are you going to do it at night?
No, we'll do it. Oh,
No, we'll do
do
it
it
now.
do it at night
What? Why would we do it at night?
Why?
because we want to sneak in there, don't we?
You do want to.
What you mean, all carrying our torches?
I've got dark vision.
I've got dark.
I've got dark vision.
Have you now? Still be carrying my torch.
I've got a scroll of dark vision too.
Well, what do you want to do?
Let's wait until night.
You wait until that evening.
Yeah.
Wait until it gets dark. I mean, it gets dark at about
Right.
4 o'clock. Okay.
What I would suggest we do is we go there and then we stake the place out overnight.
Yeah.
That would, and then
Well, you've been past it before. You've been past it every time you go to the cairn. You go backwards and forwards past the Dourstone Mine. That first night
I
you came
see.
in to town from the cairn, that was the mine that was emptying out
Yeah.
on the Sunday evening with all the miners going in to drink, and that was the mine that where all the pit bosses were rounding up all the kind of drunken miners on Ort Day when the drinking was over. So you know it. You're pretty familiar with it. You can walk. I mean, you're not challenged or it's not suspicious to wander up there. If you walk up the company road,
right,
the
but we
the
want to
spur
go and
that goes
find
up.
this other entrance, though, right?
Well, yes, but I mean, Hesti's diagram basically shows you that the main road goes up to the mine, and there's a series. There is a ridge or a bluff, if you like, with the various main mine workings set into the face of it. But that round to one side, out of sight of the rest of it, there is another little mine working entrance with a kind of disused little what is it? Little rail. What are they called? Those little coal cars that run on rails. It's like there's a disused thing for that. And he thinks you looking at it, and if you travel, why don't we cut a long story short? If you head up to the mine and have a look from the edge of the spur road that leads down to the mine itself, that area that he's pointed out in his map, you can kind of see it. There's nothing really going on there. I mean, you wouldn't want to go up there in broad daylight, but you don't think that it doesn't look like the most difficult of things.
Okay.
So you head up.
Yes.
You stake it out during the day. You wait for night to fall.
Yes.
And you sneak your way round. You can hear the kind of occasional muted voices of kind of pit bosses, and you can see a couple of kind of flaming torches of the miners kind of working around the main entrances. But soon it's quiet, and you're by yourself as you kind of creep round in the dark. You find this dark opening. How are you seeing? Dark vision?
Dark vision, yeah.
Dark vision.
Yeah.
I need a torch.
Okay. Are you going to wait until you're inside before you light a torch?
It depends whether I can see to the point of getting there.
Well, you can put your hand on my shoulder and I'll lead you.
Lead
until
him
we
by
get...
the hand.
Okay. So the dark-sighted lead the undark-sighted. You pick your way into this entrance to this disused part of the mine. You pick your way along the tracks that little coal cars or whatever have been running along, and you find yourselves in a long, sloping passageway. Sessions, you feel safe enough to light a torch. You don't think the light will be seen from outside. Yeah?
I'm going to do a light spell.
I'm going to do the light spell on a pebble, throwing it ahead of us trick.
Sure. Okay. I mean, it's a kind of uniform experience. It's a sharp downward slope, and it's about 400 feet before you come to anything of any interest. You come to a little chamber, kind of rough-hewn chamber, kind of shored up by pit props and so forth. And in the middle, there's a wooden platform with a little wall built around it, a little 5-foot wall built around its edges, but with a way onto it. There are struts on either corner that reach up to the ceiling, joining in a kind of cruciform like an X above, yeah? And there's an iron chain that runs through that X, that support point, into a large wooden spool that's set in the middle of the platform. So the platform is 10 foot wide, 10 foot by 10 foot square. You think it looks like that spool, it looks like it's got a little brake shoe on it that you can detach, and then it looks like it's a chain pulley system. So it's a lift. Yeah, you think it's a lift. Can you give me some perception checks?
Perception check, eh? Gonna have to roll something.
Gonna have to roll something, yeah. Just give me some perception checks, please.
11.
11, okay.
22.
22. It's a decent roll, that's enough. Burple, you pick something up from below you. Very faint and echoey. You know that sound that you get if you're in, say, a cathedral and you're up in the gallery? There's that sort of echoey space, and the sound of even soft sounds sort of reverberate. You know that kind of sound?
Mm-hmm.
Think that, only like quieter than that, and it seems more distant beneath you. But you definitely got the sense that there is a space beneath you, and that perhaps there's some very sort of soft noises or quiet sounds coming from a long distance below you, but echoing in a larger space.
So there's a big chamber below us.
Well, something.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
And I'm going over to the contraption.
Yeah.
Working out how to lower myself down.
It looks pretty straightforward. It looks like there's a kind of ratchet system that stops the whole thing just careering crazily down. Yeah. And there's a brake lock so that you could use to actually arrest the spinning completely should you wish to. So it looks like you disengage that little brake and then start turning the spool, and it will pay out the chain above you and lower you. And you
So
suspect
you
that.
control it from on platform. You don't need someone.
That's right. You control it from on the platform, and the way that it looks is it looks like that chain pays out and coils onto the platform itself. Yes, the counter chain, as it were, so that when you're at the bottom, you could pull on that chain and pull yourself up.
Okay. Well, we'll get on the platform
Okay.
and go down.
Okay. there's a sort of a click, 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 click as the pawls go round. The chain is paid out. You can drop about, well, it says here 50 feet around. That seems extremely quick. But let's say about 10 feet around. Yeah, so 10 feet every 6 seconds. And it's about 200 feet before you think you're approaching a change in environment. Just the walls of the shaft go past you. Yep.
Bloody hell.
The sense that there is a wider, freer space beneath you becomes increasingly present. Yes, and at a certain point, you can stop yourselves should you wish to. You realise that the platform, the base of the platform, is going to drop past the bottom of the shaft and out into a more open area. I'm going to assume that you stop at that point. You can hear a couple of kind of low voices, nothing alarmed, no sound of anybody reacting to your presence in any particular way, like a kind of low chatting voices from below you. Make a perception check. Somebody, anybody.
20.
You reckon
10.
10's not fantastic. Really, it's about judging the distances.
Have we gone up a level? We fourth level yet?
No, you haven't gone up a level.
That would be really good because I chose really crap spells.
You think that the voices are about 50 feet away below you, something like that? Maybe a little more.
Just a couple of them.
Yeah, kind of low. You had a snatch of kind of muttered conversation, then it stopped.
So we're paused at the bottom of the shaft before we go out into the open bit.
That's right.
Is there light coming up around the side?
There is a little light, yes. There's a sort
Should we
of...
extinguish our lights?
You certainly could do.
How noisy is this thing moving?
Well, it's fairly noisy. You would have thought there was no way that anybody below you wouldn't hear it coming down. So you're not quite sure why... whoever it is below you is not particularly reacting to the noise. Maybe they're expecting it. Maybe it's not an unusual event.
We should pretend we're miners rather than trying to sneak because of the noise and the light.
Well, I'm thinking that we could go a little bit further and poke our head round and see what's down there.
Yeah, you could do. The light that you can see in the gap between the platform and, as it were, the ceiling of the chamber that you're just about to drop into is sort of flickery, dim torchlight. Classic dungeon lighting.
Okay. Well, let's go a bit further and see what we see when we go out.
How much further? Well, so click round another, however many,
So
a few feet?
extinguish our lights. Extinguish our lights.
Yeah.
And go down so that we can poke our heads over the side.
I've got
to
it.
see what's
Got
down.
it. Yeah. Okay. So what you can see is that you're looking into a large chamber. There's a rectangular section dotted with columns. Yeah. That your elevator, should you wish to lower it all the way to the floor, which is, as it turns out, about 60 feet below you. That's where your elevator would come to a rest. And where your elevator would come to a rest, there is a similar little wooden fence-like arrangement, like a little box arrangement, so that if you were to lower the lift, the opening would go to your north. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
You can see leading off the chamber, you can't see much more detail, 3 passageways. A narrow passageway leading to the north, a narrow passageway leading off to the west, and a wider passageway leading off to the east. To the south, the rectangular part of the chamber then opens out into a wide circular chamber.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a vast domed hall, and in stark kind of contrast to all of the rough mine workings and the passages that you've seen so far, this looks like it bears the mark of like expert artisanship. The floor is black marble tiles. There are torches in brackets all the way around the walls, and this black floor is kind of reflecting those. At the back of the chamber, that is in the far point of the chamber, so if you poke your heads over the edge of your elevator platform and look to the south, there is a large pool of dark liquid. There's a stairway carved into the curved wall around that pool, which ascends to a platform above the pool on the southernmost extremity of the room. Yeah, that platform is about 30 feet above the pool's surface. The last thing I should tell you about is people. In the wider, sort of slouched down, not looking particularly excited or interesting, one of them does actually look up at you, but pays you no particular attention. The 2 tieflings. They're wearing robes. They seem to have weapons on them, but they don't have them to hand. It looks like they have maces attached to their belts, and on the floor next to them are crossbows, big, heavy crossbows. And they're sort of slouched down in that corridor entrance, and they're not particularly paying you much attention, and you can only surmise that it must have been them who were sort of muttering to each other.
Okay. Well,
What are you doing?
I'll open up with a machine gun, I think.
Plasma rifle,
No, don't be silly.
grenade launcher.
Oh, come on. Grow up.
How far are they?
Well, it's about 60 foot down to the floor. So they are 60 foot down and about 20 foot away from you to the west in the entrance to the large corridor.
Okay, so I could hit them with a firebolt.
Yeah, you could probably do that. Yep.
Anybody, any objections?
To doing what, sorry?
Attacking?
No. But why do
seems a
we...
bit
If you do it from
premature.
here... If you do it from here, they can get to the doors behind them and alert the rest of their crew. Surely we want to take them out silently. So if we're going to do it, let's do it in a sort of coordinated way.
Somebody make an insight check.
Oh, an insight.
Insight check. That's a thing, is it?
Mhm.
God.
Oh,
14.
40 is pretty good. This is not the most difficult thing. I'm not really telling you anything you haven't worked out for
natural
yourself.
20.
Oh, okay. I'm still not really going to tell you anything you haven't worked out for yourselves, potentially. Your sense is that people routinely descend on this elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that maybe they'll react badly when they see who you are, but the presence of the elevator arriving is not particularly exciting. You don't know how long the elevator kind of hanging there, not going anywhere, would escape notice. That might seem a little odd after a while, but it's up to you.
So, who are we going to chain up like the Wookiee? We're taking the prisoner.
Where are you taking this thing?
There's just two of them. I could shoot one and someone shoot the other one. Or...
Well, presumably we can do the same by attacking. Maybe we should just try talking to them to begin. Oh God, I can't speak. Talking with them to begin with, and see if they can give us any information.
No, but they're guards. They'll sound the alarm.
Have we got enough firepower to take them out at range in one round? I mean, I can do chromatic orb. I mean, I'm guessing they're just grunts, right?
Well, why don't we just sort of descend and do some stuff at range when we feel appropriate.
You can do that if you want.
As soon as they see us, we open fire.
Has anybody got a
Sleep spell would be good.
silence spell or something?
No.
No.
No, I've got a thunderclap. Thank you.
That's good and subtle.
That would be good. I've got calm emotions. What does that do? You attempt to suppress strong emotions in a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Casting time one action.
Well, that would stop them possibly being alarmed and shouting out if they see us.
Suppress any effect causing a target to be charmed or frightened.
Alternatively, you can make a target indifferent about creatures of your choice. This indifference ends if the target is attacked or harmed, but it would give us, I assume, advantage on first attack.
Well, it would help us with any bluffs, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Range of 60 feet, so I could do it from here.
Yeah.
Want to try that? It's a second level spell.
Did anybody see that one I rolled?
Yes. What is that?
That's my false life. So it's 1 + 4, 5.
Okay. So you've cast false life, getting yourself 5 temporary hit points. Right. So okay. But so you want to try this spell? It's you'd need to go down a little bit to get within the 60 feet range requirement.
Yep. Okay. So they need to make a charisma saving throw, and it's DC. If I remember, it's 8 plus your
Proficiency bonus, which is
proficiency
2.
bonus, which is
2.
charisma, which is 3. Oh, charisma, but proficiency and charisma, so it's 13.
DC 13. So DC 13 saving throw from these things, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're lowering the thing down a bit. When you start lowering again, they do kind of cast a glance up at you. One of them sort of calls up, "Everything all right up there?" You could ignore them or not as you continue to lower. Once you're about 10-15 feet down into the
Just
room,
on our way down.
you can you're within range and you cast your spell, Burple. Yeah, and I think we'll leave things there. We'll pick it up next time.
Great.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. The Three Faces of Evil and Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening!